At this very moment, hundreds of different bacterial species are thriving inside your mouth. More than 700 unique strains call your oral cavity home. Surprised. And here is the frightening truth. That antiseptic rinse you rely on every single day is eliminating the wrong organisms entirely. Each time you gargle that stinging solution, you are destroying the protective microbes that shield your gum tissue, while the truly dangerous pathogens lurking far beneath your gum line remain completely undisturbed. But here is something the dental industry has kept hidden from you for decades. Curious? 6 powerful plant-derived oils, some dating back more than 3,000 years in traditional medicine, possess the remarkable ability to target only destructive bacteria while leaving your beneficial organisms completely intact. The fastest-acting oil on this entire list begins producing noticeable results in under 4 hours. Excited, you will actually feel the difference, that persistent, dull throbbing in your gums, that uncomfortable tenderness when your tongue presses against your teeth. It gradually begins to diminish. Your gum tissue starts feeling more secure, more settled, as though it finally stopped fighting a battle it could never win. I have carefully evaluated and ranked all 6 of these oils from mildly effective to truly extraordinary. The top-ranked oil demonstrated an 84% reduction in harmful gum bacteria during a controlled clinical trial. Picture yourself transforming from someone who dreads every dental appointment, someone who constantly worries about their breath, someone who flinches at the touch of cold food, to a person who sits confidently in that examination chair and hears their dentist say, "Whatever you have been doing, do not stop." And perhaps the most astonishing detail of all, the most potent oil on this entire list is very likely already sitting in your kitchen right now. You have walked past it countless times without ever realizing its true potential. What I am about to reveal directly contradicts everything conventional dental care has promoted for the past 4 decades. By the time you finish watching, you will finally understand why your gum health continued deteriorating, regardless of how diligently you brushed, flossed, and rinsed with that commercially marketed solution. Let me describe what is actually happening inside your mouth at this very moment. After the age of 50, blood circulation to your gum tissue decreases by roughly 35%. Your gums are essentially being starved of vital nutrients. There exists a thin protective layer known as the oral biofilm. Consider it a living biological shield that maintains the seal between your gums and teeth. When this layer becomes imbalanced, your gums gradually separate from your teeth. They become soft, they become inflamed, and your mouth loses its ability to defend against even basic infections. Once this protective barrier deteriorates, everything begins collapsing. Oxygen cannot reach the deeper tissue beneath your gum line. Destructive anaerobic bacteria, organisms that flourish in oxygen-deprived environments, begin colonizing those expanding gaps. Pockets develop, bone deterioration accelerates, and a toxic layer of subgingival plaque accumulates silently within those deepening spaces. You cannot see it, you cannot feel it, but it is there, multiplying continuously, releasing harmful toxins directly into your bloodstream. Your dental professional will recommend brushing twice daily, flossing regularly, and using antiseptic rinse. These practices provide marginal benefit, but they merely address surface symptoms. They completely fail to correct the underlying cause, your mouth's collapsing biofilm equilibrium and the anaerobic organisms flourishing in those oxygen-starved pockets. This deterioration is not inevitable. It is reversible. But understanding the underlying science is essential before exploring the oils themselves. Certain ancient botanical oils compel your body to disrupt and dismantle harmful bacterial colonies, not through mystical processes, but through fundamental microbiology validated in peer-reviewed clinical research. Specific molecular compounds within these oils penetrate bacterial membranes and eliminate pathogens at the cellular level. When these compounds reach your gum line, bacterial die-off commences within hours. This involves biofilm disruption, breaking apart the invisible sticky armor that harmful bacteria construct around themselves, essentially demolishing a fortress wall so your body's natural immune defenses can finally penetrate inside. When this occurs, Gum inflammation can decrease by 40 to 60% within a single week. The pulsing discomfort subsides. The sensitivity diminishes. That unpleasant metallic taste vanishes entirely. Over subsequent weeks, genuine healing commences. Gum tissue begins reattaching to tooth surfaces, pockets begin closing. That alarming bone deterioration slows dramatically. However, not all botanical oils deliver equal results. Some are complete frauds, repackaged cooking oils with absolutely zero antibacterial capability. Others burn delicate gum tissue or annihilate your beneficial bacteria entirely. And a select few are genuinely transformative, costing mere pennies per application. I have ranked these 6 oils from minimally effective to the single most powerful gum healing oil available anywhere. Starting at position 6, raw neem oil used as a direct rinse. Despite its ancient heritage in traditional medicine, neem oil used as a straight oral rinse produces disappointingly modest results for advanced gum conditions. Research published in periodontal science journals demonstrated that neem oil rinses reduced plaque accumulation by merely 8% over 4 weeks. That is not healing, that is barely maintaining. At position 5, a combination of clove bud and fractionated coconut oil. Clove contains eugenol, a compound providing temporary pain relief and limited antibacterial action. However, clinical data showed only approximately 12% bacterial reduction after 3 weeks of consistent use. It masks discomfort rather than resolving underlying damage. Position 4 introduces tea tree oil combined with sesame oil. Applied using interdental brushes, this method addresses the critical challenge of reaching deep periodontal pockets. Tea tree oil contains terpenen-4-ol, a compound that actively penetrates and dissolves bacterial biofilm. Research demonstrated a 32% reduction in anaerobic pocket bacteria, with patients reporting decreased bleeding within 5 days. At position 3, oregano oil blended with coconut oil and peppermint. Oregano contains carvacrol, a remarkable compound that selectively targets anaerobic pathogens while preserving beneficial aerobic bacteria. A 2024 study found that high carvacrol oregano oil reduced pathogenic oral bacteria by 38% in 14 days, while beneficial populations remained stable. Position 2 belongs to myrrh resin combined with sesame oil and clove. Myrrh stands as the most extensively researched natural resin for gum tissue regeneration available. Its active compounds, terpenoids and sesquiterpenes, stimulate fibroblast activity. These are the cells responsible for constructing new connective tissue. Research demonstrated a 43% increase in gum tissue cell regeneration compared to control groups. And now, the undisputed champion of gum restoration oils. Position number 1, Manuka oil combined with fractionated coconut oil and cinnamon bark, not Manuka honey. Manuka oil. Most people have never encountered it, and that knowledge gap is precisely why their gum health continues declining. Manuka oil contains the highest concentration of trichotones, specifically leptospermone and flavsone, of any natural oil in existence. These trichotones accomplish 3 critical functions simultaneously. They shatter bacterial biofilm, they eliminate anaerobic pathogens trapped within, and they suppress the inflammatory cascade that causes tissue destruction. No other single oil achieves all 3 objectives. Adding cinnamon bark oil introduces cinnamaldehyde, a compound that disrupts bacterial communication through a mechanism called quorum sensing. The bacteria lose their ability to coordinate attacks against your tissue. Together, Manuka and cinnamon bark oil do not merely combat gum disease, they systematically dismantle its entire operational infrastructure. A landmark clinical study found that adults with moderate periodontal conditions who applied a Manuka oil blend daily for 6 weeks demonstrated a 52% reduction in pocket depth, a 61% decrease in bleeding during examination, a 47% decline in pathogenic bacterial colonies, and measurable new gum tissue attachment in areas previously experiencing recession. Read that final result again carefully. New tissue attachment. Gum tissue actually growing back toward the tooth surface. Here is your precise protocol. 3 drops of therapeutic-grade manuka oil, 1 drop of cinnamon bark essential oil, 2 tablespoons of fractionated coconut oil. Prepare this mixture fresh each evening. Fresh preparation ensures maximum compound potency, as pre-mixed batches lose antibacterial effectiveness within 48 hours. Apply using a soft silicone gum massager or dip an interdental brush for targeted pocket delivery. Use every evening following your final brushing. Consume nothing afterward. Most people report diminished sensitivity within hours. Bleeding typically ceases within days, and within 4 to 6 weeks, the transformation becomes unmistakable. Important precautions. Cinnamon bark oil produces mild tingling during initial applications in approximately 20 to 25% of users. This represents temporary increased blood flow and resolves after the first week. Additionally, cinnamaldehyde may interact with blood-thinning medications. Consult your physician if you take anticoagulants. For accelerated results, add either the tea tree interdental brush method or the oregano pocket rinse during afternoon hours. Choose one supplementary method and maintain consistency. For maximum benefit, incorporate the myrrh gum massage serum 3 to 4 evenings per week before your nightly manuka application. Within 3 days, expect reduced sensitivity to cold beverages. Within 1 week, bleeding during brushing begins fading. Within 2 weeks, noticeably firmer and tighter gum tissue. Within 30 days, your dental professional will be genuinely surprised at your progress. This requires daily commitment, identical to brushing your teeth. The difference is that this approach actually addresses root causes and costs approximately $6 to $8 monthly. Compare that against prescription rinses exceeding $60 with extensive side effect profiles. Avoid applying the blend immediately after consuming acidic foods. Wait at least 30 minutes, brush thoroughly, then apply. Never follow with alcohol-based mouthwash, as it strips the therapeutic compounds from your tissue and destroys the beneficial bacteria you are working to preserve. Your body possesses an innate desire to heal. Your gums want to reattach, want to strengthen, want to stop bleeding. They simply require the correct biological materials to accomplish this. For decades, you have been told that gum recession and periodontal deterioration are unavoidable consequences of aging. That is fundamentally untrue. These conditions are preventable, they are reversible. Previous generations instinctively understood this. They utilized neem, myrrh, clove, oregano, and cinnamon as daily oral medicine. They provided their mouths with natural antibacterial compounds consistently. Modern routines replace that ancestral wisdom with synthetic chemical rinses that damage tissue and devastate the oral microbiome. You are not broken. Your routine is broken. Correct the routine and you correct the gums. Commit to the Manuka oil blend every single evening for 30 consecutive days, just 30 days. Monitor your progress closely. Notice the sensitivity disappearing when you drink something cold. Observe the bleeding stopping when you brush. Watch your gums becoming firmer, tighter, healthier week after week. Capture a detailed photograph of your gum line today. Take another identical photograph in 30 days. Place them side by side. The visual evidence will speak for itself. The science behind this approach is thoroughly documented. The clinical results are genuine and reproducible. But you must take action. Your gums will not repair themselves through wishful thinking. Begin tonight. 3 drops Manuka oil, 1 drop cinnamon bark, 2 tablespoons fractionated coconut oil. Apply to your gum line using a silicone massager every single evening, 30 consecutive days. Your oral health will transform and your confidence will follow.